Today is ours. Let's live it. And love is strong. Let's give it. A song can help. Let's sing it. And peace is dear. Let's bring it. The past is gone. Don't rue it. Our work is here. Let's do it. The world is wrong. Let's right it. The battle is hard. Let's fight it. The road is rough. Let's clear it. The future fast. Don't fear it. Is faith asleep? Let's wake it. Because today is ours. Let's take it.
This should be fun. So thank you so much for being on this podcast. I really appreciate this.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, of course. I mean, this is like super brand new and, help getting the word out and, just trying to highlight females that are doing really cool shit and, having a good time. So we're just going to jump right into some questions for you and we'll play like a little either or kind of game and it'll be fun. You ready?
I am ready.
All right. So my first question is pretty open-ended. Why cooking?
It wasn't something that came that easy to me. Like you just said, that question. Honestly, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So straight out of high school, which my high school days was kind of disturbed due to Katrina. But in high school, we had like a little career day, and I talked to a couple of people. And straight out of high school, like I went into the union, like the construction union, to do stuff because I was like the first person that I talked to at career day. I know I didn't want to be a deadbeat when I left high school, so I was like, you know what, let me just get into something. Went to the painters union, and I was like, you know what, this really ain't for me. I got laid off right around Christmas time. I was like, this really not for me. I didn't even know what laid off meant. I was like, what? I don't have a job. I do have a job. I don't get it. So that happened. And I was like, I always went back to cooking. Cooking was something that I was doing with my mother. For holidays, I was doing all the prep work. I had to peel shrimp, peel potatoes, do stuff like that. So something that I always grew up doing. But when I looked back at it, I never thought that it was going to be a career. Because I always noticed if I looked for a job, I was always under food and hospitality. Like nothing else applied to me. But it wasn't snapping to me until like I officially just started taking things seriously. And I said, well, let me take my time and do this. And I joined a program called Liberty's Kitchen. And it kind of put me into the chef world and how you can take your cooking skills to the next level.
Mm-hmm. And so once you did that, you realized, like, yeah, this is absolutely, what I want to do.
Yeah, once I started doing it, I was like, well, duh. It was like ding, ding, like something wrong in my head, like, duh, like you should have, been doing this. Because it was something that I was always doing in the beginning. So it just only made sense for me to just take it more seriously and try to get into more positions and learn more about it.
Right. And so once you started learning, did you have to go to school for it, or was it just like an opportunity that came up, or do most people, who want to be chefs, like to really be taken seriously, do you have to go to school?
I don't think that you have to go to school because it's just a two-sided question. These days now, it looks better to have a culinary school on your resume because it makes people take you more seriously. I mean, but everybody knows that the restaurant industry was always an industry that you can come up through the ranks. They have lots of stories of executive chefs starting off in the dish room. So that was always primarily the job that you can excel in. But these times now that it's glamorified more through the Food Network and things like that, It's making people have to take it more seriously. So now I would say now in these times, it would be better to have it, but it doesn't expede anything. Once you get out of culinary school, it's not like, okay, you're a chef now. That's not how it works. If you still have to put the time in, you still have to go along the ranks, and you still have to work to earn that title.
Yeah.
It's not like even if you do a 4-year program, because I honestly got an opportunity, and my opportunity was in 2011. I won a scholarship, full-paid scholarship to go to culinary school in New York. So I won that scholarship, and from that opportunity, because it was a prominent chef at the time that I won it from that opportunity, I was awarded the opportunity to move up a little bit faster in the kitchen, because they saw that I had that experience from school, but also having that prominent chef back me up with schooling and experience kind of got me to go into that title a little bit easier.
Yeah. Did you feel ready for it? Like once the opportunity came and you saw that they trust you, they see your skills, they know what you can do. Did you feel ready though, or was it kind of like, oh yeah, I got this?
For years after school, I never felt ready. Everybody put pressure. Well, everybody was putting pressure on me because of how I got my scholarship and the things that I did. Everybody, once I graduated, was like, okay, so what are you going to do? When are you going to have a restaurant? It seemed kind of overwhelming at the time. And after school, I can tell you that I was completely scared, didn't know anything about running a kitchen, let alone like being confident at my cooking skills. So running the kitchen is just a whole nother ball game. And I have to say I'm probably like 7 years out. I graduated in 2012, 6 or 7 years out now. And now I feel like, okay, I can do it. Yeah, but even coming into that point, I was kind of scared, because people make you feel like it's just, oh, you can't reach that, or you can't attain that position or that title because, oh, you just a line cook. You should just be a line cook. Yeah. Especially our people, our race. They don't never give you that opportunity to make you think that it's attainable, because they're like, oh, no, just be a line cook for 10 years, man. And then you come along the ranks. But I figured out that that's really not the smart way either. Right. I kind of had to build a formula for myself to excel the way I did, because you look at everybody else, they have all these expectations for you, but you got to set your own expectations. Mm-hmm. I said I wanted to be a chef, or I wanted to get out of that title. So once couple of years out of school and I started feeling a little bit comfortable, when people didn't want to give me opportunity, then I was like, okay, I got to bounce from this situation. Yeah. And then I noticed that I had to get out of restaurants. Like New Orleans is a restaurant city. So you go to the first quarters, Bourbon Street, then you have all sorts of restaurants all over. But those are like plantations. And I figured out that you got to go up in those restaurants to learn all your skills. And then once you figure it all out for yourself, then you got to go corporate. Or you got to go to like a hospital or a school that people might shun you for. Like, oh, man, you have so much talent. Why wouldn't you want to work at this 5-star restaurant or this with this stuff? And it's like, well, you want me to work there for $10 an hour? Because that's all they could afford. Or that's all that they paying for their line cooks. Right. If you want to go out and actually run kitchens and do stuff, the best way is corporate. You're going to have to go to a chain restaurant. It's going to have to be probably even something corny, a hospital, a school, a college, or something like that. Once you start going into those places, you start seeing that it's not as black as white as the restaurants are, and everybody has an opportunity to excel.
Wow. Can you explain how, like, what are the ranks? Like, when you come out of school, typically, like, what do you expect to be your first job? Then, like, what's the next rank and the next rank? And, like, what is your personal goal, too, like, from where you are now moving forward?
So, coming from culinary school, you can probably expect, and it depends on the person. If you are a passionate, grinding person who you want to excel, then you're probably going to move faster than a person who just wants it to be given to them, because you got to understand that once you leave culinary school, first you're going to have to figure out where you want to go. And if you are a creative person, then that means that you're going to want to go to a restaurant, you know, with a known chef or a type of cuisine that you want to do. But if you go to that restaurant, probably not going to, you got to also understand, too, this is not a glamorous profession. We don't get paid like top dollar. The base pay is like 10, 11, 12 if you're lucky, you know, depending on our experience. So, like, you have to top that. We're working 12, 13 hours on the feet all the time, and it's not a pretty industry, and the people aren't, you know, nice who work there. So you have to get over that hurdle first. Unless you say that, okay, I could do this, because that's not going to deter me from anything, then you'll start moving. And then once you start doing that and you start moving, then it just depends on how fast that you mastered those things. Because if you mastering stuff in the kitchen, then you're going to move around. But like I said, if you're not going to go that far in a restaurant like that, depending on what demographic you in. If you're in a southern place like this, then you're probably not going to get that far in a restaurant unless you know someone, because it's all about who you know in a city like this. But I just expect to get paid crap in the beginning. Expect to work hard, long hours, because you're not gonna buy a house. You damn near not gonna pay your bills. You're probably gonna need 2 jobs, you know. But if you love it, you're gonna do it for a while. And then once you figure out that formula for yourself, then you're going to have to start figuring out, okay, where can I transition to make the money that I need? You have to learn how to run a restaurant. You got to get off the line at some point in time, because that's how they trick you. They make you think that, oh, you just got to be this best chef, so you have to cook on the line for all of these years. Nah, because if you end up on that line, you're not going to know anything. And the thing that you need to know is how to food cost, how to budget, how to do orders for your restaurant, how to make your ends meet and your bottom line before you lose all of your money and go out of business. And that's the things that people are not being taught, unless they either go to culinary school or they have some sort of program that's going to introduce them to that, but they're not exposed to it, so they're not qualified for those positions. So once you open yourself up to working your way around a restaurant, either getting in with somebody who will teach you, or like pick up some classes or food costing and stuff like that, so that you can have a real life image of what that looks like. Because once you know those things, getting a job is so easy in this industry, because you could pretty much say some stuff, and I could hear you talk. I know if I know that what you're saying is matching up, then I could be like, okay, he know what he's talking about. If you're telling me about numbers and how the food cost is and how much you would make this, and if you was running this amount of labor time, would you let somebody go? Like, it's questions that I can ask you, and if you answer them correctly, I could give you a title, because I just know being a chef is not about cooking. Now it's a knowledge game. You got to know how to schedule people on your shifts to where you're not just soaking up money when you don't have business. Got to learn how to take people off the clock. Got to learn how to not pile up food in the refrigerator just because you're just trying to. You got to learn how to balance it out with what your actual sales are. Yeah. And that's the thing that will get us in the positions that we need to be successful in this industry.
There's so much to this that you said in like 3 minutes that I have never thought about. Like, I've thought about the fact that, you know, it's a business. You know, with most skills, you come out of college, you think, you know, oh, this is going to be easy. I'm just going to get a job. They're going to pay me great. I'm going to, you know, it's going to be comfortable.
That's what even I thought that in the beginning. I was like, so after I graduated culinary school, you call me chef? Like, I was so green to the point where I wasn't even thinking, man, you was like, now the word chef is just like, so people tossing around so lightly. That's something that I take very, very seriously, because the chef he's multifaceted. Like, he doesn't just do one thing.
Right.
A chef does everything. He has to think of every little thing.
Right. That is like, is that part of the reason why a lot of creative people, especially like creative cooks, also have some kind of business partner, so that they don't have to think about all of the business
because
stuff?
that's gonna block your creativity.
Yeah.
Like, being caught up in the business, like, it's not going to make you, you're not going to be trying to cook right, because that's just the whole life of it. That's why chefs have a whole bunch of line cooks and sous chefs that they leave into those positions, because a chef really doesn't do that. To be honest with you, a chef, that's when you stop cooking. That's when you reach the pinnacle of the cook lifestyle, and you move on to like doing the paperwork. That's the paperwork side of it, honestly. Yeah. You there to make sure the quality is okay, that people are doing what they're supposed to do. But at the end of the day, you the bread and butter. Yeah. You make sure those doors continue to turn, that people continue to have a job, people all making money, the restaurant making money, and people enjoying themselves at the end of the day. But people just see, Food Network, you gotta be chef. Man, you must cook some good. Yeah, I do cook good stuff, but I gotta think a lot. I have to think a lot about every little variable that may or may not happen.
That is like the most boss. I can't say. I guess I could say it, but it's like that's some boss shit.
And that's what it all comes down to. Like, chef, that's the real boss. Yeah, he the real boss. Like when I came up, I tell people all the time, all I knew how to do was say yes, chef, and no, chef. And you have to humble yourself in this industry. You can't be a person who don't want to take direction or feel some type of way. Sometimes I used to be in myself. I had to break out of that, though. Yeah. Once you realize that people not telling you nothing because of no personal stuff, and this is about a job and a business at stake, then you start realizing, okay, but you have to be that kind of person who has that set in my head, like, one day I'm going to want to do this, because you're not going to take it seriously if you don't. You're going to have a cook's mentality. And a cook's mentality is, I'm just going to come up in here, do my little hours, cook my food, and go home. Yeah. But a chef is, I got to come up in here, I got to plan this, got to make sure, this person called out, this person going to be on vacation. Oh, man, we got a brunch on Sunday, so I got to do that on top of that VIP party. Oh, man, we don't have this, so I got to substitute that for that. It's so much things that's going on in our head at one time that is just like, sometimes I don't see how I get it all done. But I mean, that's the best part of it. Like, to know that you got all these moving pieces going on in your head and you didn't crumble yet. Like, that's the cool aspect of being a chef to me.
Do you think that now this is just an observation, but from what you're describing, like with all the moving parts, do you feel like you have an advantage as a female because our brains do kind of multitask all the time? Or do you think that it's even worse because it's like overload, like it's too much?
I don't think so, because they have some awesome women chefs out there, and we are a little bit more structured. Sometimes we could be a little bit more like, I wouldn't say like demanding, but we're more like crisp and organized, and like we to the point. But like, it's still a different dynamic, because women chefs are just they just different. They're different. Cause I worked for Susan Spicer down here, and it's totally different from working for her and working for a person like John Bish. Yeah. So it's like, she's a good person in her own. She's one of those people. She came to me when I was doing something. It was like, you doing that right? And I was like, huh? She was like, come on, you know better. It's like calling you out on stuff like that. And just like how they run their stuff compared to men, it's totally different. It's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just two totally different ways.
How are the men?
The men are pretty much that they, honestly, I would like to work with guys more than I like to work with women. Yeah. I don't work with a lot of women cooks, but at my job, I have a lot of women staff. I have a cold run production of girls, women, and I have 2 women cooks, and I have 2 men cooks at the time right now. And I have one female who is close to the age that I am. And I have an extremely hard time with her for some reason. I don't know. I just really feel like it's a girl thing. I just think she feels some type of way. because maybe she feel like she should be. I don't know. But that's another thing that I could say about this topic. I was like, being that I'm so young, 27, and I've been in management now for like two, 3, maybe 4 years. And it's tougher for our people, for me to manage our people than anybody else. And I think that's so horrible because we make it so hard for each other. It's like we don't want to take direction from us. We'd rather take direction from another demographic or somebody else. It's like, that's the hardest thing that I had to deal with in management now. But men, I actually like to work. I actually like to work with them because it's just like, it's straightforward with them. It's just like, okay, do that.
I feel like they're a lot less emotionally attached to the food. Because I feel like as a woman, if somebody tells me my food was bad or like something was too crispy or something, you know, or something was the wrong color, I feel like you're personally attacking me versus, you know, just as an example, like I can kind of relate to maybe why there's a difference with how the women might respond to correction over something that, because cooking is kind of like, I relate it to anything creative, but it's like an extension of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like how you express you and how you put you into how you cook. So it's like, you know, if you have a problem with my cooking, you got a problem with me.
And I don't think I ever ran into that problem, but I can tell you the difference between women chef and men chef. Women are more nurturing, just in general. Like women, like even me, like I say I don't care, but then I care. You know, I care about my staff. You know what I'm saying? I care about my people. And sometimes I say I don't care about what they think. I do. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them to love me. Sometimes I want them to like me. I want to do more for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, but men is just like, I know at one job I was just more emotional and more attached to my people than like a man chef would be. Just like because I guess I'm a woman. And like I know other women chefs like Tiffany Derry from Dallas. Like she would tell me her experience. She was like, man, you know, I drove one of my line cooks to the hospital when he was having his kids. So it's like stuff like that you get. Like, you know, women, we are more motherly. So that's going to transpire to us when we out there. Like, so I care more about, like, my guys. Like, even if they would leave, or, like, I would, because if I knew that they was out here, out in these streets or something like that, I would genuinely care about it. I don't know if male chefs really care about stuff like that. Yeah. But I think that probably would be a difference in the women's chef and the men's chef.
Yeah, that makes sense, though. And, like, some of your mentors, do you have different mentors just like throughout your whole career, or have you stuck with the same mentor from the beginning?
I had one mentor associated with my scholarship, and which he's kind of still there, but I had several mentors, honestly. I was blessed to go through that process because I had a lot of people who welcomed me and opened their arms to me to come and ask them all type of stuff. So I'm well loved out here, so I get to go into people's kitchens and talk to them. I get to go to Dookie Case and go talk to Miss Leah whenever I want to. And I get to go, you know, to Dillard and go talk to the people who got things going on there who helped me out. So, like, I've been blessed to have a whole bunch of friends in the industry who just circled around me and kept me humble and would tell me whatever type of advice that I needed to know or help me through whatever situation I needed to get through.
Like your family is supportive too?
Oh, yeah, my family's supportive. Like I said, because I went through kind of it was like a big thing to where people announced the news all over. So it was like, I don't think my mom...
News and Fox and everything.
Yeah, like I... So, like, once my mom saw that, I guess I didn't think that she knew that I took it seriously like that, too. I'm a kind of closed-up person, and I don't, like, let you know a lot of stuff unless I know what's going on. So I told my mom that, you know, I was going to New York and won a scholarship the day that I knew that I found out. Like, that's the type of person that I am. And I was like, I just went there with the flyers and stuff, and I was like, yeah, man, I'm going to New York. She's like, New York? Who you know out there? What you doing? I was like, yeah, I'm about to go to New York to school. So she didn't know that it was that serious, but that's the kind of person I am. I ain't going to hype you up. I ain't going to say, yeah, I'm going to do this, because if I amp people up, then I might not do it, or I might not follow through. So I like to just tell people when it's official. Like, that's the type of stuff that I like to do.
Yeah, that's something that I would do. Just be like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm moving to Australia. Right. Just wanted you to know.
I'm a very spur of the moment type of person.
So you've gotten to travel a lot with, like, through the scholarship, through the Best Foundation, right? Like, were there any particular countries that stood out the most, or like particular areas where you were just like, what are they eating out here, or anything like that just was crazy for you?
Not that crazy, but just different. Just through the scholarship, I was able to go to London with Chef Besh, and that was crazy. But I mean, I'm a chef. I don't like to go outside of my area. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh man, that looks weird, I got to try it. Like, I'm not that kind of person. I'm like a stick to what you know type of person. So I was eating fish and chips. That was my thing out there, because I can relate to fish and chips out there. But I went to Abu Dhabi recently this year in Dubai, and it's just the dynamic is different out there. Like, so in the morning they might eat baked beans and stuff like that. So their digestive system and everything, and hummus with pita bread in the morning. So it's like, it's just a different dynamic when you go to other places. But honestly, out of all places that I've been, New Orleans is just my favorite, my favorite place to eat, because I could go anywhere else and lose a ton of weight if I've been there for a long time, and come to New Orleans and just gain it back within a week. Like, it's nothing. So, and that ain't even fast food. That's just like, you know, good home cooking from out here. So I don't know what it is, but it's a reason why this is a foodie city, for real.
Yeah. Where's the chef hideout out here? Because, like, you know, everybody has, like, you know, they read the little whatever, you know, top restaurants in New Orleans, where to go this weekend, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like true cooks and chefs out here, they have like some kind of secret society, and they go somewhere super exclusive, like nobody knows about. So yeah, where's that place?
I know little holes in the walls and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But like, honestly, like, I'm gonna go to like a mediocre place probably. Like, I go to like to like corny places and eat, honestly. I really do. But like, if they tell you to come out here, then for sure I will tell you. But everybody knows about it, like Chinese kitchen and stuff like that. Like, that's the stuff that like we really grew up on and know about. Like, that's the only Chinese food that I mess with in the city. Like, I'm not going nowhere else for Chinese food. Like, I'm gonna get some shrimp fried rice, some boneless chicken, and 2 huge egg rolls. Yeah, and I'm going to pay, like, probably $30 for it, but it'll be fine. Like, it's cool. Like, I'll drop that money for it.
Right.
And, you know, it's places like Parkway Tavern and Mahoney's and places like that, like Real City Gyms that's been here for a while, that you hit or miss, they're not going to upset you. You're going to go there and you're still going to have a good, like Ruby Slipper. Like, I like brunch. I'm a breakfast type of person. I like to wake up early, you know, go hit a nice brunch. And Toast is a nice place. It's kind of like a hidden gem that's out here that you can get good brunch from. And I like to support chefs that's doing stuff out here. So like any pop up with any type of chef that I'm associated with, if I support them, then I definitely like to see what's going on with that and see how creative they are. But
what about the food trucks? Or okay, now this is my question. Now with food trucks, do they have a chef, or is that just people who are really good at cooking whatever it is that they cook on their food truck?
It could be both. It could be both. Depending on whose food truck it is, it could be both. Most of the time, honestly, it's just a person who either got their capital or investors or something like that, and they just going out with it. But if it's like if it's really professional, they might have a chef involved with it. But if not, it just might be some regular person who had their idea and just wanted to go with it. And nothing's wrong with that. Like, most of the people who we eat from, that's who it came from. Anyway, everybody's not classically trained in school to have, you don't even have to be classically trained in school to make a good product. Yeah. You have to be business minded and you have to deliver a good product to somebody. You know what I'm saying? You just can't put out anything. So, you know, I don't knock those food truck people.
Food truck of the lifetime. I love Rollin' Fatties. Like,
what's the name of it?
It's Rollin' Fatties. They park on Poydras. I want to say Poydras or Tulane. I think it's Poydras. Whichever one is like right by the hospital.
Okay.
And oh my God.
What do they specialize in?
It's burritos, but it's like, it's not a normal burrito. I don't know how to explain it, but they have this really interesting, like, kind of pickled.
Oh, I love Juan's flying burrito. Why did
But see, but listen, no, trust me. Like, okay, Juan's is good. I do like Juan's flying burrito. They straight. Okay, I give them that. They all right. But let me tell you, you have to have a Rollin' Fatty. The fish is delicious. The chicken one, scrumptious. The shrimp one, off the chain. I'm gonna just suggest that one. And it's New Orleans dudes that own it. I'm pretty sure it's New Orleans dudes that own it. Young guys. It's amazing. Okay. That's all I can say. It's really good. I can't think about it because now I'm really getting hungry. and it's 7:00, so it's that time. Huh?
Is it like a Monday through Friday type thing?
Yeah, it's pretty much just Monday through Friday. But they're like right there where most of the food trucks park because all the medical students, like, they go have lunch over there mostly. You know, they could just like walk and go get whatever. It's so, oh my God. I'm just going to let you know about that one.
Okay. I'll put it on the post.
Yes, definitely check that out. So what do you think about the way well, I'll ask you that question next. But in terms of places that you've been, are there any other places that you want to go explore their food in particular?
Yeah, I want to go to Africa so bad. Like, I want to speak it in existence because every place that I went to, like, since the scholarship popped off, I never thought that I would go. It just been blessings and opportunities that happened that just made me available to go at the time. So Abu Dhabi and Dubai this year was just something that popped up. It was a street food festival. Found out about it and I got involved. So I actually cooked food out there. So it was a month long. It was 3 weeks and I went to 3 different cities out there for 1 week apiece. We went to Elaine for the first week, Abu Dhabi the second week, and Dubai the third week. So that was a cool experience that I even went out there to get to cook and do that. Right. So that was cool. But I just want to go to Africa so bad, and maybe if I just keep on speaking it into existence, it'll happen. Because honestly, everywhere that I went to, I never had to pay for it out of my pocket. So I've been to Copenhagen, I've been to London, I've been to Abu Dhabi and Elaine and all those places. So I'm like, now I just want to go to Africa. Like, those places was cool too, but I just want to go to the motherland. Either Nigeria, Nairobi, or Kenya.
Nice.
So if I could go to either one of those, that'll be like the bee's knees. If I get to chill and like go actually like this, I just want to like chill with the people and I want to cook with them.
Right.
And I want to know how to do it like official with them.
Right. Like straight from the beginning. Like,
yeah.
Let's start it.
Yeah. And I've been involved with places like the Dillard program. I know the director of the Ray Charles program over there, Zella. And we did stuff at the Whitney Plantation with some prominent people there who actually showed us how to cook in the actual slave quarters. So I got to see it, but I actually want to do it.
Yeah.
So that's definitely on my bucket list that I never got to scratch off.
You definitely like just being a part of the food community, I feel like you kind of learn history, you kind of learn customs, you learn how people think through how they cook, you know? So I feel like I can read about it in a book, or I can watch a damn, you know, Discovery Channel special or cooking or travel or whatever. But seeing how, I don't want to say they, but seeing how we cooked, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just, I don't know, it's really dope. So do you have any low budget fancy meals that you do?
My cabinet is filled. Oh, I do that all the time. That's my life, because when you add the job, like cooking, big batch cooking and recipe cooking all day, by the time you get home, you like drained and you don't have time for all that. But you still gotta eat. So right now, my cabinet is filled up with those little Knorr pasta side things. And like I flip and do all type of stuff with those. So like that, you could just do whatever you want with those things. Like I add shrimp, I add chicken, I do sides to go with it. I always keep like chicken breast in the fridge, because like you can do so many things with that. And I'm trying to like cut out a lot of stuff like pork, and I don't think I want to go all vegan, but I know I want to like do better with myself. So as of now, even though I know chicken is not as bad, but I just need some type of protein. Jesus Christ. I can't live. I just need to have something like to feel myself. I feel like I'm never going to be full if I don't have no type of meat in my diet. But I always keep chicken breast, shrimp in the house. And yeah, those things are like perfect. Honestly, I keep like random stuff like egg roll wrappers and stuff, because you can eat either like, you can do like those pastas at like the right size and like add a whole bunch of stuff and then fill it up in the egg roll wrapper. Like, you know, those tasty videos from Facebook. Oh my God, I love that. I love that page so much.
I'll even save the video like, oh yeah, that's good. Oh, look at this. And I will never look at it again.
It's perfect for people like me. Like, I think tasty is like perfect for chefs who like new ideas and don't have time to sit through like the lecture. Like, I don't need that. Like, I'm the kind of person, my mind goes, so I love that video because I could get the gist of it. Because if you know how to cook, all you need to do is see the stuff and be like, oh, all right, I got that.
Right. See, you don't need all the little in-between steps because you got it. Like, you know what to do. You just needed the inspiration.
Right. And like with me, people always ask me, well, how you have to do this or how you do that? I was like, bro, cooking, you shouldn't have to think like that. Like, it's really just that if you want to put that in there, put that in there. It's what you want to eat. Like, everybody, what should I do that? Do you like that? All right, well, put it in there. Put a little bit up in there. If you like it that much, then put a lot. I don't know. Like, cooking is what you make it. Like, I know we have recipes and things are written. We take recipes and flip them all the time. Like, it's just a guideline to go by. You can take it and do whatever you want with it.
Right. That's what surprises me when people, especially like who live in Louisiana. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I grew up really around, people who cook. So whether it's the men or the women, everybody cooked. Like, it was a thing that you were proud of. But it's just bizarre to me when people are like, yeah, I don't know how to cook. I'm like, that's impossible. Like, that's right. Literally impossible that you don't know how. Like, if you were given some ingredients and you were starving, trust me, you gonna cook something. Right. So, like,
but that's the idea and a perception that we put out as far as like, could we make you think like now we make regular people think that you really have to know how to cook to either be capable of cooking something for yourself. Like, that's how bad we like brainwash the whole society with this whole Food Network and all of this stuff like that. Because people like, no, you've been eating. Like, what you talking about?
Right. It's a little intimidating. Are there any people that you like just don't like cooking for? Like, either they're too picky or they expect you to do this super fancy over the top stuff every time and you just trying to eat?
It's not, cause most of the time, honestly, whenever I cook for people, I guess they already like that, cause I haven't had anybody who was like picky like that. But it's certain people like who come through the restaurants, like you can tell no this, no that, no that. Well, damn, I mean, you might as well should have just created your own little dish. You just took all the elements out of the dish that we created. So, people like that. And nowadays it's getting difficult with the different dietary needs now, with the vegans and the gluten-frees and all these things that are coming up nowadays that makes cooking not more complicated, but it makes you think a little bit more, which isn't that bad, but is just something that it does. But I mean, that's just the thing.
Yeah, my mom
that's going on now.
She was diagnosed with, I don't even like saying diagnosed because I don't think it's that serious, but it is, but diabetes. So I started looking up all kind of different.
You don't think it's that.
Well, it's serious, but I feel like because of her habits, it's reversible. She just had just kind of stupid habits, like drinking 3-4, Mountain Dews and just stupid stuff.
Oh, okay.
But for the most part, she really does cook. She likes to eat organic and she just is, she doesn't mind making the dietary changes. So for her, I looked up different, diet ideas and, different things that were out there. And the main thing that I was finding was that people were really big on, the paleo diet was a big one that came up.
Right.
And I love the paleo diet, but I'm a thinner person as it is. So I'm good with my white potato. Give me my white potato, please. I'm not trying to be a stick figure. Give me something. But paleo was good. That seemed really good for her. And, just her carbs, the wheat. I didn't realize that wheat was in almost it's in canned foods and beans and those wheats and grains. And as soon as she cut those out, when I tell you her sugar immediately kind of just drops. It just went back to what it should have been.
Almost.
Right. But that's all these processed foods that's killing us.
Yeah. So I like some of the dietary changes, but even at home now, because I'm just more conscious of it, I guess, because of my mom now too. I'm just sensitive to it. But I'll try to get the flours that might not have gluten. And so far, I'm able to cook the same things, but I feel a little less bloated, I guess is the biggest difference.
Yeah, that's what everybody said. And I think I probably need to cut gluten out too, because Jesus, I love bread and everything bad for me.
I'm not about to not eat bread though. Like I said, I'm thin. I need all my carbs. Ain't nobody tripping. I said my mama, not me. I'm good for now. Okay, so we're going to play a little game. And it's really simple. It's kind of would you rather, but you just have to choose between two things. Okay. You ready?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Cast iron or stainless steel?
Cast iron.
All right. Sweet or spicy?
Sweet.
Rice or noodles?
Rice.
I was going to ask you vegan or meat, but we kind of had that discussion.
Yeah.
She's yeah, ain't nobody about to do that. Okay.
Ain't nobody got time.
Ain't nobody got time. Going for thirds or eating dessert?
I probably would say dessert because I got a mean sweet tooth.
Dessert. Okay. Here we go. Potato pie, sweet potato pie. You probably know where this is going. Or pumpkin pie.
Come on now. Sweet potato.
I just had to ask. Okay. Dinner date out on the town or cooking for bae at home?
Dinner date out on the town. Honestly, I stay in too much.
So you're making yourself get out of the house.
Yeah, I gotta get out. Honestly, because I would probably prefer that because I'm always working and doing stuff. But I'm going to say for the sake of bae, we're going out on the town.
Okay, last one. Do you like to cook with music or cook in silence?
Man, music.
What music? What do you choose? What are you listening to when you cook?
Slow jams, 90s, ballads, all that.
I don't know why I just knew you were going to say I don't know, Future. I don't know.
Hell no.
Turn up while you cook.
Honestly, it is moods. Those do get you amped up in the kitchen. But, I like to chill. And if I know I got a lot of stuff to do, I'm gonna turn it on like Pandora Solange channel, something like that, or 90s R&B. So it's like I want to go back while I'm like just chilling and reminiscing, just having a good time. I ain't trying to get amped up like that. If I'm getting amped up, we probably about to go do a banquet for 500 or something like that. But when you chilling at home, nah, the 90s music.
Okay, I like it. I like your taste. Real smooth, on the smoother side. Okay, so if someone were to make a romantic meal for the late, because most of the listeners are women, what is like a romantic but not super complicated meal that you suggest?
A romantic but not that complicated meal that I would suggest. I probably would say do some type of pasta, because that's not that complicated. And I guess we can do some shrimp, since we don't want to go that extravagant. We don't want to have like steak, potatoes, and all that type of stuff.
Something all heavy.
Yeah, I was like, we probably ain't gonna do all that, because then we probably might get people scared or intimidated. Probably do a light pasta, like a shrimp Alfredo, something like that, scampi, or something like that, and do like, but the dessert gotta be bomb. You just gotta make a bomb dessert. Something, you probably need to get complicated for the dessert. If it's gonna be like that special, you might have to do a brulee or something, something with cream.
So you need a torch. So now I gotta go get a torch. So now you're saying
you could go get that from like Dollar General or something like that. It's not that complicated. But you got a while of looking.
I'm gonna try that. Like I haven't tried.
Oh, nice little tart if you want to keep it simple. We'll do a nice little berry tart or something like that. Something light and not going to be too heavy, because you know your pasta's going to be creamy. That's going to be a little heavy. So maybe you could finish it off with like maybe some berries and cream, or a little tart, a little fruit tart or something like that. Or if you want to get special and just like, you know, make a little single cupcake, little cute little cupcake. That could be cool too, but it's not that stressful.
Okay. So put more of your effort into the dessert, ladies, is what she's saying. Thanks. Thanks for the tip. Thanks for the tip. So what about with the holidays coming up? Is it like completely the most stressful time in the year for you?
Not really. Like that's really the Thanksgiving is the day that I picked, that I take money out of my pocket and I cook like a huge meal and just, you know, for family and friends. I invite them over. Either I make a whole bunch of pies and to give them out to each person in the family, or I do food and just invite everybody over. That's the one holiday that I do. Like everybody else got to pick another holiday. Just Thanksgiving, I'm going to throw down like that.
Yeah, that's good. That they don't put it all on you to do all the holiday work just to.
Yeah, because you know that's how it's going to happen. They always, man, what you cooking every time you come around? You can never be a chef and everybody just always asking you to cook something. But don't nobody ever want to cook for the chef. You don't never hear nobody want to cook for the chef.
Because it's scary. Because if they cook something and it's bad.
It is intimidating, but I'm the kind of person, I would probably eat, as long as it's, and I'm a simple person too, because if it's simple for you, then I'm probably going to eat it. I'm not like that. I'm not going to chew your stuff apart. Mm-hmm. But if it looks weird, I'm not going to eat it.
If it looks weird or smells weird, I'm definitely not going to eat it.
I'm not going to eat it. I don't like fatty things. Like I'm not that person. I don't even do foie gras. Like that's not my taste. I don't.
Is there a certain?
I'm not trying to eat enlarged goose liver. I don't want you to like just force feed a goose just for my satisfaction. That's not how I want to live.
I'm not.
I think right. Like I'm not even that person. Like just be real.
So do you think you're going to stay as a chef, or do you want to move into like management, owning your own place, or?
I think I'm going to do this for a little bit, but I got dreams and aspirations. I'm trying to do all types of stuff. I'm trying to get on TV if they let me on there. I want to do so much more than just food. Like, I sort of want to be a face of it, but then not. Like, I want to have my own, I want to build my own brand. Like, I want to have my own chefware. I want to have this. do a cooking show or do a TV show or whatever type of stuff.
Like seasoning blends or different things like that.
Yeah, like I want to get into the whole business of it, of food and outside of it, because I mean I've studied under a superstar already, so it kind of got me like, all right, maybe I can do it.
Yeah. And what about like cooking for celebrities out here? Are they calling you or like banquets and like that?
I'm getting into doing, well, I do a whole bunch of stuff sometimes, most of the time, for free, for a whole bunch of organizations that I do, like, support and I'm a part of. But I do pop-ups, I do stuff like that. But now, in this process of this journey that I'm doing, I'm finally getting to the point where I'm legitimizing everything. So, I mean, I done cooked. I graduated in 2012. I've been in management now, so I finally took the time to get my business and stuff legitimate, LLC. So I did that recently this year. So yeah, so I had the website up now. That's going along with other stuff. And I plan on just getting my ducks in a row for when I do start that, because that's the thing that I want to do too. I want to cater and shove to the celebrities, but also not just the celebrities too. Like I still want to do stuff for average people, but too, like those programs that I came from, I want to give back and do stuff there. Like I love to do like instructing and like talking to kids about stuff, because I do that at Liberty's Kitchen. I go back, I talk to them, you know, tell them everything that I went through. They could see the journey that I went through and think that it wouldn't be that hard for them to attain. So I would love to do stuff like that. And now I really want to get on the motivational speaking kick, like, so I want to tackle all that. I want to, that's what I want to do. I want to walk in those footsteps of those people who motivational speaking, private chefing for the celebrities, talking to the kids, mentoring kids, and doing programs for youth in the city and stuff like that. So I want to be a part of it all, honestly. I don't want to just be a chef. I want to still be cooking, but I want to use that outlet to branch off and do a whole bunch of other stuff too.
Do everything.
Well, you said it best. I stole one of your quotes from one of the interviews you did. It was with Road Trip Nation, and you definitely said it best. You said, "Don't let life go by. Don't be shy. Don't be timid. If you want it, get out there and get it." Right. So, ma'am, you got to follow your advice now.
Right. Like, I learned going through this whole journey. If I hadn't opened my mouth, if I didn't show my personality, then nobody wouldn't have been as interested as they were to even continue to do the stuff that they was doing for me, for every opportunity that I had. It was only because, like, I showed my personality. I just showed them who I was, and people liked that from all over. Like, they resonated with it. So that was my best advice that I could give to anybody. Like, just stop being closed. And I even tell the kids that. I was like, man, when y'all get with y'all friends, man, y'all a whole different person. And then when you get around other people who all closed up, and that makes people intimidated when they see you. And then you won't be able to go and get those opportunities, because they think from your perception that you're giving them that you somebody else.
Yeah.
But when you're around everybody else, you love. I mean, like, just show that side.
Right. Are there any people that you specifically want to model, you know, your career after?
Honestly, that's a good question, man. Who I want to model my career at? Because I don't know, and you know what? I'm glad you didn't ask that question on this podcast, being that you out here and you know what's going. I don't know if you know, but if you a foodie, you know, and it's just having to do with myself in the light of what's going on with him and his situation he going through. I would just, I don't know who I would model my Oprah. Man, I loved Oprah. I always loved Oprah. Man, she doing everything out. She always had interesting conversation with regular, like, just people who you would never thought of. She did whatever she want, and she only did it by just talking to people.
Yeah.
And listening. Like, that's what I'm all about. So, that's what I'm about my career. I know that's big shoes to fill, but hey, you gotta start somewhere.
So my last couple of questions for you. One is, when are you the happiest? And 2, is there a certain mantra that you use to like keep yourself encouraged?
I'm the happiest. I'm happy when I'm cooking, but I'm not gonna say that all the time because sometimes I'm happy, but I'm like regular, but I'm just too focused. I can't say that. I guess I'm the happiest like when I'm with my family or the ones that I love. Mm-hmm. And what was the other question again? I'm sorry.
The last one is any mantra that you use to keep yourself motivated.
I just always remain humble and just remember how things could be and where I came from. Mm-hmm. That keep me motivated. Like just staying humble because everything you can lose everything. You know, you can get into a situation where you're not able to do what you can anymore. Never taking advantage. Taking for granted the things that you have and all the things that I accomplished. Like looking back at that's how I look back, and those are the things that keep me motivated. Like just thinking how far that I've come, everything that I've done so far. For me to do like anything else to change gears or to just stop, that would just be like just a waste of time and potential. So those are the things that I look back on that just keep me motivated. Like, man, I did this. Like, what more can I do? Right. If I keep going down, what else can I do?
Yeah, I can relate to that one because you definitely look back and stuff and you're like, wow, I definitely got to, I can't quit now. Like at this point, right. I have to find some next goal and some next step. And when you have a lot of people who are looking at you or a lot of people who are really rooting for you, like really want you to just go everywhere and do everything you've ever wanted to do, you kind of feel motivated to like, show them that, yeah, I can actually do it. So,
right.
But I really appreciate you. This was fun. I really do appreciate your time. Is there anything else, anything new or upcoming or next or, you know, where you want people to follow you?
Follow me at Chef Syrena, ChefSyrena at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Go visit the website, www.chefsyrenajohnson.com. I do have some things coming up that I really can't be too descriptive of, but it's something to look out for. Okay. And I will definitely, when it's time, I will definitely hit you up personally and be like, yeah, so maybe we could talk again when that comes up. But it's something very interesting.
Dope.
Looking out for.
Okay.
So definitely that's coming up. I'm trying to do a pop-up soon. My very own pop-up. And I've done one, like little ones with other organizations, but I'm going to get together soon and get that going. And then when I have that coming, I will definitely hit you up too. But those are the two things that I'm currently working on. But the website to keep you posted, all of the social media outlets to keep everyone posted on what I'm doing. And you guys can definitely follow me.
Okay, so I paused. Hopefully when I edit this, it won't sound crazy, but I'll tell y'all what happened. So basically, I was on the internet, right? And I was like, oh, let me look up, you know, some more information on people that we talked about in the interview, you know, get some more notes for future editing. And I pull up John Besh, like I just Googled John Besh. Because I want to like see what other restaurants he has, blah, blah, blah. And the first thing that pops up is these sexual harassment. And I was like, wait, time out. Is this the same person we've been talking about? So, of course I had to get Chef Syrena's opinion on this whole debacle. We got Bernie coming out saying he's going to run for president again. We got John Besh talking about, yes, now that I'm actually updating myself on the news today, I'm learning all kinds of stuff. This is great. Okay, so let's get your opinion on this whole John Besh situation. And for people who don't know, and like myself, because I didn't know like an hour ago, basically he stepped down from his company. His company is like, 14 restaurants and different like food companies And he did say that there was like a consensual, relationship with some former employee 2 years ago. And he's, I guess, remorseful about it, according to his statement. And he's apologized to people who have, been affiliated with him, people who work with him, for feeling any kind of way or maybe whatever. And so you're someone who's been affiliated with him. And I was like, oh my God, I have to ask her what she thinks about this. So what do you think about all this?
It's kind of like, it's new, it's big, it's still fresh, and it's kind of the talk of the city right now. Because I work for the organization, I met them in 2011, and I've been, following them ever since. I kind of know how all of this stems, and it's good that it's my record, because as far as the sexual harassment claim part, like, I don't know too much about that. Like, I get some of the things that they mentioned in that article, I get it. The bro culture, most of the other things, I get it. There are males up in there, so I guess it's a misogynistic type of atmosphere. But as far as, like, I really didn't see none of it, I guess because, like, I was just on the line and I wasn't too involved with it like that. So I don't know. I do know that he did say that he did that he was with one of those employees. So as far as that concerned, it was what it said on the. From my perspective, I know what it is, and everybody in New Orleans, if you're part of the food industry and you work around the BRG, then you'll know that it all stems from Chef Alain Shire, who has Dominica. He always tried to branch off and do his own thing and leave the group. All of a sudden, when he got fired, now we got an 8-month investigation about it. But he knew that he'd been fired because there probably was talks of it. So now all of a sudden, he goes to the Times-Picayune, and now this story is out. Well, why? Then it came at a perfect time for him to air it out. So all this really stems over Chef Alain got mad. We watching a game of chess play out before our eyes. Now the people worldwide don't know what's going on because this is really a city thing. But this all stems from, come on now, we all know what go down in the restaurant. Talk about anybody who work at a restaurant. And they're gonna tell you not many restaurants have HR departments. It's not, I'm not saying that it's the right thing. Right. But what I'm saying is that's been the culture of the restaurant. Come on, we work up in there. We up in there all hours every day. We up in there 10, 14 hours every day. Come on, now you expect, I'm not saying that what is right is, he's married. Okay, I get that. But all I'm saying is those girls who go up in there and they managers and they do that type of stuff, they know who Chef is, and they do stuff like they trying to be picked or trying to be chosen for something. I don't know. So they do that to get those perks. But that stems from Alain being angry and them strategically playing games with each other. He kind of just hit him really low to where it affected him in a major way. And it came at a time where we also got the microscope on this guy from Hollywood who's doing the same thing. So it really just came at a time where it was perfect for him and bad for Chef. It has everything to do with it. And guess what? From now on, this will change the culture and restaurant history. It will be documented and things will change because of it. But it's really a move that, a little crummy move that a chef who, this man really, he co-signed 3 restaurants for you. And because things turned left, he figured he wanted to play catch bait. So that's all that's about.
It's so crazy. And, they're talking about changing all the and like you said, there's the moral side of, you did something that's against, whatever your certain beliefs are, and, your marriage.
Now, no, he's too big to go through all of that. He's too big to not have an HR department. He's too big to, be going through that petty stuff, dealing with employees. He's too big to be doing it. So, shame on him for that. But, this story came out because somebody just wanted to be spiteful.
You said your group me is like blowing up right now.
My group text is like popping right now.
It's just kind of crazy news. I mean, I guess the good thing is that policies will change and things like that. Do you think that he's going to bounce back from this though? Because he does have such a long history, like a long career, like long reputation, like long known, standard of like business and his food. And do you think that there's going to be a return, or it's just like, this is it, it's dead, like the community's too small?
That's the biggest question that's going around right now. I mean, honestly, I had my opinions about everything, and which is just theories. Let me put theories out there, because I can say that it's like that, but if y'all read between the lines and y'all go through every article, you'll be able to piece together that it's just a disgruntled guy. And I mean, I guess he probably, he probably took for granted that this guy probably could do something like this. Because if you think, man, I co-signed 3 successful restaurants with this guy, you wouldn't think somebody would do something like that. But I guess this was a learning lesson for a whole lot of people. So,
right.
I mean, he been working with a line from Best Steakhouse. That's where a line started. So, I mean, they have a relationship, So it's kind of like a funny thing that's playing out right now.
So is it basically this other guy is like he coming, like, I don't understand why it wasn't the female that came out. That's what why is it this guy? Like,
yeah, because he it's kind of like he got it all together, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that's just me, and I worked with the guy. So I kind of know him, but I don't know him like that, but I've worked with him. And I would, he the kind of person that if you do something to me, I'm going to do something worse to you.
Well, I don't know. I'm very curious to see how it's all going to kind of play out. My last question though on this. Do you think him stepping down was a bad move?
I don't think him stepping down was a bad move. I think him stepping down was a selfless move, because he was thinking about all his employees and the jeopardy of the restaurant. So that was a move to keep people in the same situation and don't make it worse than what it is. Because I guess he could take the fact that, his reputation is on the line, but to then have to take the fact your reputation is on the line and I let all of these people down too, I don't think that he'll be able to, shake back from that. So I just think he did that as a move to do something better with the company and just step away from it so it wouldn't make people, change their minds about patronizing it or even take their frustrations out on the employees who are there right now. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about people feeding their family. That's what it's all about. He got to feed his family. The people that he gives jobs to, they got to feed their family. And for all of those people to lose a job just because this happened, I mean, that's kind of unfair.
Yeah, and I mean, they're talking about changing some of the restaurant names, and they have, someone who's immediately ready to step up. Do you know who Shannon White is, the new CEO person?
And when I read it and I was like, Shannon, that name sounds familiar, and I think I do. And if it is the same person who I know it is, she's somebody who's been with the company anyway. She was if I'm not mistaken, she was already a manager with them for a long time. So, the name does ring a bell, but I haven't been with them so long. I would just have to see her face and be like, okay, all right, that's her.
Well, man, I definitely hope people don't just lose their job or, like I said, there's, we live in the South and right now, especially just in media in general, the whole sexual harassment, the hashtag #MeToo is everywhere, so it's kind of the worst. If it was just oh, you cheated on your wife and that was the big story, it's kind of slap on the hand, kind of like all the rest of the guys, and you kind of move on. And then, you have the Harry Weinstein guy and his big old story. So now it's just a bigger story. It's on CNN. Like, it's kind of the worst blow right now. But you know how the media world works. People will forget about it in like a week.
And hopefully he can bounce back from it. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all human. We all do things. And, like, I can't, I guess I can't say it. But I guess, I don't know. It's just a situation, and people go through situations. But, I mean, just to see how it all played out, like, I was just watching Twitter, and I'm like, to see how everybody just kind of flipped sides and kind of, like, turned their backs on him. That was kind of the most thing that I looked at and was like, wow, like, because these were people who I seen who they looked like they got down with him or they was getting down with him before, and then as soon as this happened, they just flip script. Like, I'm like, geez, do you even have, like, friends in the industry? Because I thought, like, when things like this happen, I mean, if you know him, then wouldn't you think that you would know that this was going on? Like, could you just know that that's that guy? So for all those people who was like, oh, man, shame on him, and I'm glad that, I mean, like, y'all knew him. So apparently, like, either y'all, do the same thing, or why y'all can't be friends and just come to him or, like, come support him instead of just like, oh, man, I don't want to get down with him no more. Like, come on now.
Yeah, and at this
point, he ain't no horrible person. He's not a bad guy. I know that. I mean, I've been around him. He ain't no horrible person, but I'm not trying to say that I know everything that he did, too.
Yeah. Because right now it's just allegations. Like, we don't know for sure. All we know for sure is that, according to him, there was definitely a relationship, but it doesn't say that her other claims are true yet. We don't know that.
So, I mean, a big article is sexual harassment in the group. I mean, so can you say that he's responsible for everything that happened in all 14, however many restaurants that he had? Yeah, he had control over it, and as a big figure, he should have gotten those procedures like HR department so you wouldn't have to go through that. But, I mean, live and you learn. And I believe this is definitely a big enough learning lesson for anybody to get their act together.
Lord,
but I mean, it's a lot of comments circulating too, like, well, I never had HR, and I've been working in the restaurant industry for years. So I mean, everybody have their opinions about it.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, I feel like HR business is about to be booming. Like, if you have a consulting company, even if you just consult on the side, like, you're about to have a whole department, like a whole extra career about to be made in New Orleans, because it is a restaurant industry. I mean, it is a restaurant city, and you're right. Now that I think about it, I'm not in restaurants like that, but I can't imagine that there's just like a department of someone's, like, it's either you're hired or you're not hired. And if you have a complaint, I assume you have someone to go to for that.
And they're normally, the thing is, they're normally not even up in there that long to even to get a complaint. You know what I'm saying? Like, the revolving door is like so big in restaurants. Probably not even there that long to even have a complaint. So, I mean, I get it, but then, it's a learning lesson. Yeah. Although this is a bad situation from him, some good things came along. We put some spotlights on stuff, and a whole lot of things will change. Like I said, it'll be documented. It'll be recorded for the record books, and people will learn from it and definitely move a lot different, and it will create a different atmosphere in the rest. So talking about women now, it will definitely create a different atmosphere for women, maybe even a better atmosphere for women. But also, you got to think about this too, that's hurting us, because maybe it can be a thing that it boils over where it can affect us to where it will intimidate people to hire women because of that. So that's two things that we're going to have to watch out for this situation. It's good we put a spotlight on it, but now it could be like, okay, y'all put a spotlight on it so much to where if y'all going to do all of this, I'm not going to even have a woman up in here. We just about to X all of that out the equation. Yeah, so that's something that we got to keep an eye out for.
Of course, harassment in any form is horrible and it's wrong and, it's not appropriate for the workplace. We know that. But right now it's just a crazy situation, a crazy story. But thank you for shedding some info on it and your opinions. And I appreciate you taking my call again tonight.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. I appreciate it. Good luck with all of those group texts and, yeah, good luck with that. But yeah, thanks so much. So this is definitely an important topic. It can be a polarizing topic because there are people who know him personally and there are people who are just hearing the stories. So definitely read the articles, get your own information and form your own opinion. Articles are on NOLA.com. I also found one on NPR.org, CNN, list goes on. But thank you so much for listening to the episode. Thank you so much to Chef Syrena Johnson. Please go actually read her blog, her website, learn about her story and what she went through Hurricane Katrina while she was in high school is such an amazing and inspiring story. Go read her story. And just continue to follow us at Say It With Your Breast. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for listening. And namaste.